You may need to squint, but I think Jared Goff's going to be all right. No one expected the Rams to go up to Seattle and win this game, especially after Jeff Fisher got fired. And they didn't even score a touchdown, but they probably should. Jared Goff in that first quarter threw that long, pretty bomb to Michael Thomas, right in his hands behind the defense. He dropped it. That should have been a touchdown. Then Goff, later in that half, or that quarter, had a wide open Brian Quick in the end zone, and that time it was Goff's fault for not hitting him. After that, the wheels fell off of the offense. But what impressed me about Goff is he stood tall in that pocket, took the beating that the Seattle defense was giving him, and got back up and got back in that huddle. The hit that knocked him out of the game, he was walking back into the huddle. It was the spotter that called down and said, "Yo, bro, you got to get out because Richard Sherman hit you too hard." I was impressed with the toughness because he's playing behind an awful offensive line. Todd Gurley can tell you that. He has no receivers
still
to throw
on the
to.
Rams, even though they've moved.
Yeah, I never was rooting for the owner. I was always rooting for the players and the helmet. Even though the helmet moved from St. Louis to L.A., what am I going to do, become a Bear fan? Here with that. They're even worse than the Rams are. But Jared Goff, I think, is going to be all right. They better put some weapons around him. They better fix that offensive line. But I was impressed for a rookie to go into that environment and take the beating. He didn't look like he was scared. He got back up, dusted himself off, and said, "I know this is part of it. I know we're getting our asses kicked here, and I'm going to get my ass kicked, but this is part of the indoctrination of the NFL. I'm going to take my lumps," and I think that's going to win people over in that locker room, especially those who at least are able to stay with him as they try and get better, because they probably got to cut a lot of the fat out of that team. It was ugly, don't get me wrong, but if you squint, I think there's hope for Jared Goff in LA.